All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. April 20th, we got 3 NBA playoff games to jump into today. So as you might know, a couple days ago, we go 2-0, and then we stay hot and followed up with an 0-2 night last night. We had the over in the Lakers and Memphis game. That didn't come close. Then we had the under in the Nuggets and the Timberwolves game. That was a loss. So we're bouncing back tonight from an 0-2 night. At least I hope so. But I kind of sucky to go and, kind of spoil 2 nights ago, a 2-0 mini sweep, then just give all that right back to the books with an 0-2 night. But it is what it is, guys. We're going to jump into each one of these games. I'm going to give you my lean on the spread, give you my lean on the total, but all my final plays, what I'm actually going to be rolling with. If you want to ride with me or if you want to fade me, those plays will be in the pinned comment, guys. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. Some big things to come on the channel that I'm very excited about talking about in the next few weeks or so. But let's go ahead and jump into this game. Make sure you hit that like button too. You guys have been running up the likes like absolute crazy, even with the hate comments and all that. I love you all, guys. They don't boo nobodies. But let's go ahead and jump into the first game here. We got the Nets taking on the Sixers. Nets getting 5 points at home. Total is sitting at 209.5. Obviously, the first two games in this series, Philly has looked absolutely dominant. They win 121-101, probably their most dominant performance, and then they win 96-84. They kept the game really, really low, slowed down the pace, and still won by 12 points. I don't necessarily think that 5 points is enough to be giving the Nets, so I am going to lean towards the Sixers here. That being said, I feel like it's a pretty public, chalky play. Like, you see the Sixers beat this Nets team, by double digits twice in a row. And you're like, oh, well, 5 is probably the move. The Nets are at home. That is something to consider. They're now down 0-2 in a series. They're probably pissed about that and wanting to try and go and, I guess get that dog out there that's in them and play even better basketball. So that is why this line kind of scares me a little bit and could potentially make me stay away from the game. But just like everyone else and their grandmother, I do think that this Sixers team is way better. Head and shoulders are better than this Nets team. So I'm going to lean towards the Philly Sixers here, minus the 5 points on the road. I do think that even though, they're switching up in Brooklyn's home now, I think the Sixers team is, no matter where they play, they could be playing in a 5x5 bathroom. And I think that, the Sixers team is better than Brooklyn, at least by 5 points. In terms of a total 209.5, I think that might be an overreaction to, their last game that was 96-84. I'm actually going to look at the over here. I think that, again, this Brooklyn team is really going to come out with some fire and whatnot, between Mikal Bridges, Spencer Dinwiddie, Cam Johnson, those type of guys on that team. They're going to be able to come out here and try and raise the tempo and kind of outrun Embiid and Philly. So I do think that this one hits the over. I like the over more than I do a side in this game too, to be honest, if I were to kind of tell you which lean I like more. All right, moving on, we got the Warriors who are down 0-2 in the series to the Kings here. Warriors at home, minus 5.5. Total is sitting at 239. This is another one where I think that a lot of people are going to be, this is probably the chalky play today, but I do like the Warriors in this one. I can't imagine, again, this is sort of like history, right? Like it might be bias or history bias, that type of thing, but I can't imagine this Warriors team going down 0-3 in a series. They are coming back home today, which, as we know, they're a way better home team than they were a road team here against the not even against the spread. Straight up here, the Warriors were 33-8 at home this season, 11-32 on the road. They were terrible on the road in terms of covering, 27-13-1 at home this season, and against the spread on the road, 12-31. So it's almost like two different teams here, but that's kind of the reason I'm leaning Golden State. Like, it is two different teams. The Warriors that are playing tonight, they aren't the Warriors that are down 0-2 in this series, if that makes any sense at all. In terms of a total, I do think that this one hits slightly under. Obviously, we're kind of been squeaking these ones out or losing them big time when we're taking these unders in the playoffs here. I feel like there's been more points scored in a lot of games than we'd think. But I still do think 239 is super, super high. Obviously, they do have, a couple games now where they go over that. One game, at least, we cashed the under in the other one. 114-106, that's what I'm hoping this game sticks a little bit more around with in terms of that pace. But yeah, that first game, 126-123. That would crush it if it were to be something like that again. But like I said, I do think that this one slows down a little bit. I think Golden State tries to get back to, clawing back into the series, and they'll have to do that defensively. Obviously, they'll have to shoot the lights out, but they're going to have to minimize and slow down De'Aaron Fox and company. All right, guys, before we get to the last pick, go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you have not as well. Also, make sure you are checking out our player props videos. We're red hot in the MLB right now. Not so much in the NBA after last night, 0-2 night, but we are killing it over in the MLB. And also make sure you're checking out our TikTok Ev Picks and our Instagram Ev Picks as well. I have those in the description. They're brand new accounts, less than a week old. So if you want to join and follow in its infancy, so you could say you always did, I guess, go ahead and do that, guys. It would be much appreciated. Let's jump into the last game of the slate here. We got the Clippers hosting the Suns. Suns on the road here, 2.5-point favorites. Total is sitting at 227. This is one that I really do like the Suns in. Chris Paul is on the injury report, but he is probable. And as we know for the Clippers here, Paul George is out. I think this is something that the Suns showed me something in that game too. They really, after a loss in game one, they really came back with a big haymaking swing. And I do think that they have the talent to kind of go on a run here. So even though they're on the road, I am going to lean Suns here, -2.5. And then in terms of a total 227, call me crazy, but I'm looking at another under here, under 227. I think that this could be more of a defensive game than a lot of people think. And guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Hope you guys do enjoy. If you did, again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right? Peace out.